Sorry. Hi, everybody. We are here in Berkeley at the Golden Gate Fields horse racing track. Right behind me is where the horse stables are, so where all the hundreds and hundreds of horses are confined here. And I'm just going to go through the crowd to get to the front. We have a 5K race happening today along this path right next to the water, right between the water and this horrible place where these horses are being exploited. And you can see everyone behind me getting ready to run. I'm going to turn it around so that when the race starts, you get the best view of people taking off. And then you might be wondering, for this live stream, how is Cassie going to keep up with everyone? Well, I've been wondering that myself. I tried a few things this morning, including sitting in a cargo bike seat to see if I could be wheeled, but it was a little too difficult to balance, so gave that up. But at some points today, I'll be handing the live stream to my friend Matthew, who is going to be biking, so that you can keep up with the folks who are running today's 5K race. So yeah, we'll be back and forth. This is a first for me live streaming a race, but I'm very excited about it because the horses who are here do not consent to be raced, and today these humans are consenting and protesting and using this creative tactic to protest Golden Gate Fields to hopefully get some press attention, to bring more people out from the community who oppose this gambling track, this gambling facility in CAFO, because it literally is a CAFO where there's room for 1,400 horses on site. And just getting people from the community involved in fighting Golden Gate Fields and working to shut this place down. We are in Berkeley. This track and property spans both Berkeley and Albany, two cities, because it's right at the borderline and on both cities' property. And we are going to be doing a 5K race, which, if you don't know, is about 3 miles, 3.1 miles. So it'll be a long race. I'm really excited for it to get started. Here's the beautiful water right where we are, and just showing you everyone at the starting line of the race. You can see, well, maybe you can't, it's a little hard to see there, but it says Race to End Animal Gambling in Berkeley and Albany, start/finish. And that's because the race is a loop, so people will both be starting here, and in maybe 20 minutes or however long it takes, folks who are running the fastest, at least, because some folks are walking and everything is welcome. Any way to participate that people want to is welcome. But it will probably be about 20 minutes or so when we have people start to cross this finish line as a finish line. So we'll be here hopefully to document that when that happens as well. So we just got a warning from Curtis that it's 2 minutes to race time. So the race will be starting soon. In the meantime, please share this live stream. It's a great time right now. You have 2 minutes to do it because the race hasn't started yet. So you can share the live stream just by tapping the share button. And if you want to write something, you can say racing against animal gambling or join this live stream of a protest right now. And then if you can get more people watching it, then that would be great, because it's going to be an exciting live stream, seeing who wins the race today. And it's not just about who wins, also how much fun people have protesting, and hopefully, how much attention we can get on this issue. So sharing is a really helpful way for you to participate, in addition to watching, and to help us get this message out there. And if you haven't heard about our campaign against Golden Gate Fields before, if you're not familiar with the petition, you can go to dxe.io/shutdownggf. You can sign the petition there to shut down Golden Gate Fields. We're calling on the cities of Berkeley and Albany to work together to shut down this facility that hurts horses, workers, and pollutes the environment. And you can learn a bit more there, and we'll also be talking more about this facility throughout the live stream. And at the end of the race, there's going to be some plant-based burritos for everyone to share. So really awesome that people are getting these cool shirts for free, and also plant-based burritos at the end. It's a good deal to get up there and raise our voices for these horses and to be able to bond through that experience. And Shiloh just commented the link, dxe.io/shutdownggf. Thanks, Shiloh. And Amira also shared. So thank you, Amira, for sharing. All right, here we go. There's a huge group of runners and walkers out today. This is really exciting. We have a couple animal companions in taking part in the race/walk as well. We've got some smoke flares going out there. Wayne did start out strong. Wayne's a runner and Wayne's going to try to win, but we'll see who wins. Woo! Turn it around and show you everyone from the back. It's a long sea of neon here, heading past the water line, the shoreline here, and heading over to Albany Bulb, which is a really cool area that is an area people hike and go out in nature, and where a lot of people have created art constructions out of waste and out of different pieces of trash. It's a really cool, unique part of Albany, and people are going to be running past where you can see here and turning and doing a loop around the Albany Bulb. So because I can't run that fast, do you want to start biking with the gimbal now and just sort of go with people? And so let's see where
camera front face?
Yeah, it's just like that, and I'm gonna hold the mic and keep talking, and we'll see if people can hear me as Matthew gets farther away from me. I'm not sure how long this mic will stay connected through the Bluetooth, but we'll give it a try, and if I cut out, at least you'll have the view of people running. So Matthew's gonna bike ahead with that and then come back in a bit and I'll be reconnected. Very creative live stream today. I wish you all could have seen me sitting in the cargo thing. It was really funny. But anyways, let's bring it to why we're here, and I'll show you all the facility a little bit better from public property, of course, the best that I can when I have the camera back in my hands. But like I was saying earlier, we can hold up to 14 horses, and they are holding many, many horses in this facility right now. The area that we're walking and running past for a long stretch, stables of horses, employees who work here, horses, and cleaning up after them, and feeding them, and doing all of that work behind the scenes that isn't the part that we see. Thing that that these employees, and this is by Amnesty, the group. Horse racing track as well. Animals, which is why so many horses die in the facility, both in races and in training and in other situations, just dying in their I have seen some DX protests here last year or in 2020, protesting these outrageous numbers of horse fatalities, which are not unusual in an industry that exploits animals to begin with, and that drugs them when they're, experiencing pain, quite possibly, just to mask that pain, and then forces them to race for competition, for profits, for humans. It's unsurprising that we experience that these horses have such high fatality rates. And now you can probably see me again. How did it go? Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. At the end, I don't know, it started fizzing downwards.
I think it's fine. I want to, Shiloh's saying audio better now. I was going to ask if people had trouble hearing me, because that was one of my questions, is how long the mic that I'm holding would stay connected to Matthew's receiver from the mic. But could you all hear me at all while Matthew is biking all the way up at the front? And while I'm here, before I pass this section, I'm going to turn it around and just show you some of this facility. Obviously, there's a gate up, so you can't see it the best, but this is where all the stables are, where these horses are fed and kept. Seems like people couldn't hear me before, so I can just repeat a few things that I said. But also right here, you can see the sign where this parking lot, Lot B, says reserved for CHRB, California Horse Racing Board members, licensed exercise riders, jockey agents, jockey valets. So, this is a facility with hundreds of horses, probably over 1,000 horses. The facility can hold up to 1,400 horses at one time. And they are using those horses like objects, like other animal exploiting industries, but in this case, racing them, which is particularly cruel because these animals start getting trained as kids when they're young, and then they get raced by the age of 2, even though horses, their bones don't fully develop until the age of 5. So, it's not that we would ever do this, but imagine if we were racing 2 or 3-year-old human kids, and how would we get them to obey our commands? How would we get them to race when they don't want to, when it's painful for them, if they're feeling injured? Well, the same obvious truths are true about horse racing, that these animals get forced through pain, they get manipulated, they have different painful things attached to their faces and hurting them to get them to run faster, and that's to break them. You might know that term, to break them, to break down their spirit and to get them to run. And that's why we say that horses aren't consenting to race. It may be possible that horses can consent to race in some situations, like when wild horses decide to start racing each other out in the plains. If they just decide that they want to have a spontaneous, friendly race, great. But they certainly don't want to race in this track. They don't want to be confined in this CAFO, which is what it is, because by just the standards of size of number of animals here at this facility, Golden Gate Fields is a CAFO. And so, with our No More Factory Farms campaign, we were also talking about this facility. You're fine. So there's some folks out running and walking and biking along the path today who will see our message, which is great. But you can really help us get the word out about this CAFO right here in Berkeley and Albany, and help us reach more people by sharing the live stream. And like I said, this is a facility with over 1,000 horses confined together, making profits for the top few, not for most of the employees who have to feed them and clean up their poop and do the dirty work here, and who experienced a major COVID outbreak in 2020 at this facility. Over 300 people were directly infected with COVID from the outbreak here, and one person died. And, that just shows you that it's not just the horses who are being exploited. It's also the workers. It's also our environment, our beautiful, I'll turn it around, our beautiful bay and marina here in Berkeley. It's a really beautiful view right here of the city, but it's polluted by this track. Good morning. And all to make money for billionaires. And another group of people who are exploited are the people who actually come and who gamble, because you can gamble on the horse races here, not just at the track, but also online, and many people do. And that's also something that people are addicted to, that can get them into a lot of financial trouble. And so today's race is a 5K race against animal gambling, because we are recognizing how many different groups of people are exploited by that industry. So I'm pretty far behind, so I'm going to pass it back to Matthew and ask that you all keep sharing and cheering on all the folks who are running in today's race. We're getting up closer to the Albany Bulb area where they're going to be. And I'm not sure if Matthew can go onto that path, if it's safe enough, but you can see what you can do, Matthew. Do you want to hold it again and go show folks?
Yeah.
And I'm going to probably wait up here when we get up there, so that when people start to finish the loop and turn around, I'm here to see them on the way back. Thanks, Matthew. Okay, thanks. All right, and we're back. Thanks so much, Matthew, for biking ahead. We just saw one person turn around. We're just getting to the loop at the end, and someone was just passing through. And also right behind him, here's Wayne. I think this is the second person. Woo! We're just hitting this point, but Wayne and I think that's John are coming back. Woo! So I'm here with some of the folks who are making the walk through. Do you all want to say anything about why you're out here?
Yeah, we're here to support a good cause, like to spread awareness for the horrible abuse and the cruelty that they bestow onto these beautiful horses. You know, a lot of them are exploited, and you know, we don't know the end of their income or the end of the result, you know, after they're used and of no longer good use to this sport. But, you know, we do what we can to show how much we care and love the animals, and being here is really great. So I'm glad you guys are doing this.
Do you want to hold the mic and say something to
Oh,
them?
sure. Yeah, no, it's just wonderful to be outdoors, enjoying our freedom when we know that the horses don't have the kinds of freedoms that we do. And hopefully, you know, soon that this racetrack will be shut down, and this will truly be a place that we can really enjoy and not.
It's definitely a practice that they need to
Yeah,
phase
not-
out. It's just, I actually didn't even know that they did this here. I was shocked. I thought this is something okay down south, other states, but I did not know here. So this was like a first for me of knowing. I don't live in the Bay, obviously, but
Well, it's actually
Just-
advertised right off the freeway too, which is really frustrating that it's like a, you know, kind of landmark to advertise to everyone driving down the freeway. Here's the horse racing track, when it's not something that we're proud of living here. Thank you both for being here today, and thanks for bringing the family too. So I'm gonna stay around here at the entrance / exit of the loop at Albany Bulb, where people are, woo, great job, where people are already circling back while some of the walkers are entering in. Go Tyler! Seems like I think Eric was in the lead, and Wayne and John closely behind. We'll have to find out the tally when we get back to the end. Here's Sergio, woo! Great job. So here's a really beautiful spot in Albany where a lot of people go hike. It's got art structures all around, and you can also see obviously the water right here. People come out here to enjoy nature, to bike, to run, to race sometimes as well. And it's just right next to an animal gambling, animal racing facility that literally is a CAFO because they can house 1,400 horses. And a lot of people don't know that that's what is happening right at this facility. Even people who know that there's a horse racing track maybe just don't give much thought to where those horses are, or the conditions that they're living in, or how young they are when they start getting beaten into submission, essentially, through just repetitive racing, forced racing, through having their tongue ties put on, then these other devices, they're called twitches, that cause them pain when they're not following their commands. And it's a really violent, inherently exploitative industry, and that's why, you know, people who love horses and who want to interact with horses should know that that doesn't mean forcing them to do what we want them to do, just like other animals that we love. Great job. You know, dogs and cats and bunnies and other animals we share our homes with, we shouldn't be setting them up to fight one another or to race one another or to do anything that is something that causes them injury and stress without them consenting to it, which they can't consent to it because it's us forcing them to do it, and they can't communicate to us that they want to. And it's pretty clear from the injuries, the high rates of injury and the high rates of death happening at this facility, that these horses do not consent to it. So I'll show you right here where all these folks are heading in and others are running out. And we've got a lot more coming now. So maybe I'll have Matthew bike back with the gimbal and get some folks closer to the finish line. Go, Chris! There's Sanjeev. Woo! So yeah, I think that's an important point for people to think about, that we like to run when we want to run, and other animals might like to run when they want to run, but that's not the same thing as this industry that forces them against their will to race at unnatural and dangerous speeds in an unnatural shape where they wipe out. They sometimes die in the races, other times they die in training or die from other injuries because their priority at Golden Gate Fields is profit and not care for the horses. Last year in 2021, 26 horses died at Golden Gate Fields. So I think I'll just wait one more minute since I see more folks coming through Albany Bulb to cheer on some more folks as they run back, and then I'll hand the gimbal to Matthew and have him catch up to folks who are getting to the finish line on bike, and maybe on his bike he can catch the folks arriving at the finish line on foot. And I'll ask everyone one more time to, well, maybe not just one more time, I'll probably ask again later, but to please share the live stream, and if you haven't yet, to visit dxc.io/shutdownggf, which is our petition to the cities of Berkeley and Albany to shut down Golden Gate Fields horse racing track, which lies on the property of both cities, and to find care for those animals who could be placed in sanctuaries or with loving individuals. There are a lot of people in the Bay Area and far beyond everywhere who love horses and who want to live in more natural areas and have horses as companions and take care of them, or who just support wild horses and don't want to see wild horses rounded up, which sadly happens sometimes by the Bureau of Land Management. And yet our love for these beautiful, wild, intelligent, compassionate animals, very emotionally complex animals, is distorted by the industries that exploit them for racing. Good job. And so we're out here today to protest Golden Gate Fields death races, which is what they are, not just for the horses that die directly in the races, although that happens, but also, go Almira and Monica, but also the folks who, the individuals who die because of complications, and they are drugged to mask their pain, so it's great job. So it's very likely that that just builds up and leads to worse and worse catastrophic injuries for them. And these are the facts people don't necessarily know about the horse racing industry that we're trying to get out there. So you can learn more and sign at dxc.io/shutdownggf and share this live stream so more people learn too. And Matthew, do you want to try to go all the way to the finish line with it on your bike, and maybe you'll see more people pass? And then you could come back to me because I'll be on my way to you, but you'll be much faster. Thank you, Michelle Brown, for sharing, and everyone who's commenting with support. Yeah, and then you can come back. I just want to see folks pass the finish line. Great job. Hey, Matthew. How's the finish line looking? Lots of people are coming through now.
Pretty good.
Wow.
So at least half of people are there by now.
That's awesome. People are fast. I really liked what Alona said a little bit ago about how it's nice to be enjoying our freedom, to be outside, to get fresh air, to run or walk or choose whatever pace we want to go at, which is something that the horses confined at Golden Gate Fields never get to do. And they're right here. Yeah, Rashad's saying the sound is back. If you're confused, it's because I have this mic and I keep sending the camera with Matthew on his bike to catch up to the runners better than I can to show you all the finish line and everything. But while I'm here walking by all these stables, I know you can't see them very well. I'll turn it around and try to show you. These long sheds are the stables where the horses are confined. You can see hay through there. We also saw lots of bales of hay closer to the end of the start of Albany Bulb where we were earlier. And this is where hundreds and hundreds of horses are confined when they're not being raced at Golden Gate Fields. And of course, their trainers and the company says that they love these horses, that they care about these horses. But if you look at the facts, it's just not how they're acting. These horses are confined in here and they're not getting proper medical care and they're not getting the best diet. Their diet is one that is for speed. It's high in sugars. It's too starchy for them. And they're getting drugged so that when they have injuries, just like in factory farms where animals are crowded together in unsanitary conditions and disease and sickness and injury is so likely to occur so that they're pumped full of antibiotics just as a preventative measure to prevent sicknesses because the companies know they're going to occur. Similarly, when horses are being raced aggressively and forced to go faster and faster and faster when their bodies want to take a break, it's so likely that injuries will occur that they're drugged to mask the pain of smaller injuries, and that just leads to eventual wipeouts, blow-ups, where they're in the midst of a race, of a run, either one that's being televised or one that's just a training, and they wipe out and they really injure themselves. And it's very regular that horses, both here at Golden Gate Fields and at other horse racing tracks around California and beyond, are routinely dying as a result of that. Even if the conditions themselves of the injury wouldn't kill them, it's just no longer profitable for this facility to house and feed and to provide care for an animal who isn't able to race, who isn't able to produce profits for them, which is their bottom line. It's their MO is to make money. And if they can't do that with a horse who's injured or who will never run again, then they just have them killed. And the numbers of animals who are killed here, what's reported is already quite high, but we don't even know the numbers of animals that die here and at other facilities every year because they're not required to report deaths that happen off the track. So if a horse is not dying very quickly on the track here, but is injured and sent somewhere else to be euthanized, then that's a death that we don't necessarily find out about. Go, Carla. Good job, everybody. More folks are running through, which is really awesome to see. There's a lot of security and also just passerby who are seeing us today. And, some of them seem supportive, and I think that they might just have a job working here that they don't necessarily want. So it's very good for us to just say hello when we pass by and practice compassion and try to change the norms about how we view other animals and try to have compassion for horses just like we have compassion for other humans. So please share this live stream if you haven't yet. Hopefully you're learning some information about the horse racing industry, about Golden Gate Fields. I'll turn it around and show you some folks getting to the finish line where I'll camp out when I get there for a few minutes as more people come through. And let me know in the comments if you have questions. I haven't had the phone the whole time, so I haven't been reading all the comments, but if people have specific questions about today's race or what's coming up next, please let me know. We are going to do a protest, just like a regular protest with signs and smoke flares and speak outs and all of that once everyone's done with the race, and then we're going to have some food for everyone and all of that, so there is more to come, so stay tuned. race to end animal gambling in Berkeley and Albany, start and finish. How's it going, Ellie?
It's alright.
Shiloh is asking how many people participated in the race today. Do you know the stats on how many people are in the race? About 50. 50 or 60. We have registration and attendance and all of that for racers and volunteers, so we'll have the specifics, but between 50 to 60 it seems like, Shiloh, which is pretty awesome attendance for people who are willing to go a whole 5K, 3.1 miles today. Here's some more folks arriving.
Woo! Right at the cones. Right at the cones.
Yeah, I think it's a great turnout, and I hope a lot of people who are just out here on their Saturday enjoying nature are reading the shirts that say Race to End Animal Gambling and thinking about what's happening today and about the horse racing track right here. I'm looking for questions, and it's difficult because Trevor Knott is pasting the same thing over and over again. But thank you for the engagement, Trevor, and thanks for watching. And I hope that you'll invite your friends to also watch as well. Woo! All right, well, for folks who are just joining in, I'll just do a little recap of what's been going on today. We had our first 5K race protest, which is here at Golden Gate Fields at the starting point where the stables are. So we're in the Berkeley side, and this track runs all the way from Berkeley to Albany on the border. And we've had between 50 to 60 people participate today in the 5K race, either running or walking or being pulled, like one kid. And even some dogs who were out for the walk as well, getting some fresh air with their family. But no one being forced to run, no one being whipped, no one being hurt with a sharp blade to keep them going. Things that happen at Golden Gate Fields where animals are pushed past their limits and as a result routinely suffer injuries and are killed. And in just 2021, 26 horses were killed at Golden Gate Fields. But we don't actually know the full numbers because, sorry, I'm just listening to what Almira is saying. But in 2021, 26 horses were killed at Golden Gate Fields. And that sounds shocking, but it's pretty regular in an industry that forces these animals to compete and puts them in harm's way, feeds them an unnatural diet, and drugs them when they're injured so that they can keep going rather than prioritizing their well-being. So that is pretty standard practice in this industry, and that's why the numbers are so high. But we don't even know all the fatalities because they don't have to report fatalities that happen off the track. So there's a lot of secrecy in this industry. There's a lot of similarities between animal gambling industry, the animal racing industry, and animal agriculture, which, you know, I'm more familiar with from doing more research and from investigating factory farms and everything. But the more that I learn about this industry of racing horses, the more that I see similarities with the, you know, billionaire dynasty family that owns this facility being the one at the top profiting the most, while the workers have suffered one example is from a massive COVID outbreak at Golden Gate Fields, similarly to many slaughtering and meat packing plants during 2020 as well. This facility had to close because of such a massive COVID outbreak, but they reopened and they're continuing to operate. So I'm so grateful that Dean and others are racing.
No, wait. Wrong side of the cone.
And raising awareness for this issue today because it's right here in our backyard for folks who live in the East Bay, and we think we don't have factory farms near us, but this is a CAFO with over 1,000 horses confined together and creating waste in one concentrated area, and just by definition is a CAFO. So although we might think the horses are treated well, and we don't think about it in the way that we think about the quote meat industry, it's actually very similar. And another similarity is that some of the horses who are killed because they can't race anymore in the United States get shipped to Mexico or Canada to be turned into meat, to be slaughtered. And that's something that you can find from the horse racing industry statistics itself, what percentage of animals are being slaughtered for meat. It's not activist propaganda, it's just the truth that, well, we have these big animals who have meat on their bones, and they're no use to the racing industry anymore. So what are we going to do with them? We want to make a profit. We don't want to give them a burial. We don't want to spread their ashes somewhere in grass or in sea. We just want to sell them for cheap meat to make money, because that's what this industry is existing to do, is to make money. And so that's actually one of the common things that happens to horses in this industry who are killed. Or who are sent to be slaughtered, I should say, when they're no longer useful to the industry. And what we would like to see happen instead is that we would like to see all of the hundreds and hundreds of horses here at Golden Gate Fields get veterinary care that actually treats them for their injuries instead of masking it with drugs, and taken to loving homes or sanctuaries where they could be cared for, instead of being trapped in this facility day in and day out until their premature deaths, which is what happens to them right now. So it's really heartbreaking. They're in there. You can kind of smell the manure, but I don't hear them. I don't feel particularly able to bear witness to them, but I'm really glad that we're right here racing along the track and bringing awareness to this issue. And I hope that over the coming year or two, we continue to raise awareness to the point where the cities of Berkeley and Albany are willing to step in and shut this place down, and to say that our residents do not support horse gambling, horse racing. Our residents want to see these horses taken to sanctuary, and that's what we're going to make happen. And there are various avenues that they could pursue to make that happen. There are environmental concerns that could be regulated that would really shut down this industry here, or other legal routes that they could take, and we want to see them pursue those. And we've participated in city council meetings in Albany and Berkeley before about this issue, and we've seen a lot of support from the cities. The city council members in Albany were very receptive and supportive and said some strong words against Golden Gate Fields, but unfortunately they don't feel able to really take action. They've given some words, which is nice, but it's not enough. We need action from people in power who are elected to regulate the crimes that are happening in our city, and to carry out the will of the public, which is very much against horse racing. And in Berkeley, so that's Albany, very supportive, but just in word. In Berkeley, Mayor Arreguín actually called for an investigation into the shocking number of horse deaths that have happened here in recent years at Golden Gate Fields. But that basically was just words as well. It didn't go anywhere. He called for an investigation, and the folks at Golden Gate Fields responded that there weren't enough deaths to warrant an investigation, which is basically, when there's dozens of deaths every year, that's basically them saying that's normal. Dozens of deaths every year is normal in this industry, which sadly it is. Sometimes, 3 horses have died in 1 week at Golden Gate Fields, and that might get a press story. It has in some cases, because it sounds so horrible. 3 horses in 1 week. It's like, what's going on? There must be some specific egregious thing that happened this week. What poison was put in their water, or what horrible experiment was done with them. But it's not like that. It's just that regularly over the 52 weeks in the year, horses are dying at high rates because of how they're treated in this industry, because they're exploited. They're not treated as individuals who are cared for and respected. And another way you can see that, besides how they're confined here and how they're forced to race, which are obvious examples, is also in their names. Some of them who have been killed at Golden Gate Fields and listed on the death reports are unnamed because they hadn't been named yet. But even the ones who have been named often have really silly, belittling, demeaning names that are more like, like Lucky Charm kinds of things that indicate we want them to win their race, but not that we have any acknowledgement of them as an individual or of their personality, or respect for them. And And so, yeah, those animals, it's hard to give them a dignified, respectful memorial when their names are as ridiculous as they are. But we have done memorials here. We did a memorial with 26 tombstones for the 26 horses who died last year in December 2021, and we'll continue to do protests here as, sadly, horses continue to die. And we'll just have to keep getting creative to get more attention on the issue. So if you have other ideas for creative actions that could be done out here or in the city of Berkeley and Albany to raise awareness about this issue, please let us know. And if you're in the area, if you could make the trip up, then I hope you'll join us at one of these protests soon, because we would love to have you. We have some new folks at their first protest today, which is really awesome. Love to see new folks coming out for the first time and getting active. This is an issue so many people in the community care about, and racing is also something a lot of people in the community like to do. So it makes sense that we got some new folks out today, and I hope that they'll get more plugged into the community. I see more neon shirts down the road. Everyone's going at their own pace today, running, walking, skipping, jogging, whatever they want. Thanks to everybody who's joined in today, who has shared, especially. If you haven't yet, please hit share and help us reach more people with this, with this live stream, which is going to be visible just as a video on the Direct Action Everywhere Facebook page once it's over, so more people can watch it, skim through it, and learn about this issue. And if you want to, you can use hashtag shutdown Golden Gate Fields, or you can even share the petition page, dxe.io/Goldengate/shutdowngGF, dxe.io/shutdowngGF, which stands for Shutdown Golden Gate Fields, which is our ask, and we're calling on the cities of Albany and Berkeley to do so. We have talked with them before. We have heard that they are supportive, which gives me hope that it is something achievable, but also they're supportive and they haven't taken action, which shows you that there are really entrenched barriers in the system to take action against horse racing. One such thing is protection at the state constitution level, which is an issue to trying to legally ban horse racing that can prevent that, which is why there are other methods to shutting down this facility. Another issue is just the huge amount of money and power that the people who own this facility have. I've mentioned a couple times on the live stream, but Frank Stronach is the patriarch of the Stronach family, and the Stronach group, named after their family, is the group that owns Golden Gate Fields and other horse racing tracks. And they are the ones profiting the most off this facility, and they are clearly in it for the money. Frank and his wife have even sued their daughter, Belinda, for hundreds of millions of dollars. The current, go Alona, the current CEO. So even within their family, they're greedy and fighting over money. And if they can treat their family like that, suing one another, then it should be no surprise that they're treating the horses they consider property and the employees that they are exposing to dirty work and to COVID. It's no surprise that they're treating them badly. But they're the ones at the top profiting the most, and they wield immense power and have been. Frank Stronach has been involved in politics and has immense political power to wield. Who's going to win? Woo! Got some Sunny D. Are people getting burritos over there now?
Yeah.
Nice.
You wanted one, I didn't want to bother you, but I could get you one.
No, I'm just wondering if I should show them, because I have a minute until more people come.
Oh, okay.
I'm just wondering what to show. I don't need to eat one yet.
You want some, right?
So people are getting some burritos and Sunny D. Need some refreshments after their exercise. are you doing, Maria? Nice, good job. I'm so proud of everybody. Some beautiful birds up here. They're enjoying being free too, just like us who are walking and running today. I'm okay, thank you. Woo! Good job. You did it. Yeah, normally on Saturdays, Shiloh, we have our weekly meetup and people come hungry for food. So today, especially with a race, instead of the typical presentation that we do, people are extra hungry. So it's great that we have burritos to offer them. And then once everyone's done, wrapped up with all our folks returning and hitting the finish line, we're going to do a bit of a typical protest here with signs and speaking and chanting and smoke flares, all of that good stuff to continue to raise awareness. It's a Saturday. I don't think any press has come out, but hopefully if we send off a press release right after this with photo and video, we'll be able to get something. So we'll see about that. Definitely one of our goals. Having folks just take action together is also one of our goals, because it's really important for us as activists to take action, to remember what we're fighting for, who we're fighting for, to build community, to get new people involved as well. All of that is super important. And today in particular, another goal is just getting some healthy exercise. It's really nice to be walking and moving and getting steps in with everybody. But obviously, of course, we also hope to reach as many people as possible, so press will help us do that, and so will this live stream if you can share it. Good job!
Thank you.
Woo!
Glad to have it done.
Folks who are walking are getting back now, so I think we're probably getting close to having everyone back. I wonder what other creative things we could do here to bring awareness to the fact that there's a CAFO right here. Maybe doing things in other parts of Berkeley and Albany would be a good idea too. But this is a pretty central, visible area. We're actually right by the freeway. We're near Albany Bulb and just right on a path by the shore where people do walk and bike and run a lot, regardless of any organized events. Like you've seen, there have been several people that we've passed. Well, more than several. Lots of people we've passed who've just been biking, walking, running, out for a jog, and they're seeing our message. But I think that it's just so sad that so many people don't know that there's over 1,000 horses confined right here, living in misery and being tortured. And I'd love to find more creative ways to bring that to a point where it can't be ignored in the city of Berkeley and Albany, where people are talking about it all the time. I think that's the kind of pressure that we need to get the cities to finally take action bold enough to actually shut this place down. Because Direct Action Everywhere is currently being sued by Golden Gate Fields. They really don't want more actions. They really don't want people doing this. They can't stop our First Amendment right to free speech, to mobilize here, but they're trying to. And we are having to raise awareness about that issue, because it's very concerning to see a nonprofit that is unassociated with certain disruptive protests be slammed for them in an effort to prohibit free speech. But that's what's happening, and that's why we have to bring awareness to that as well, include it in our press releases, try to get this lawsuit out there to show that they're trying to stop people from learning the truth. They're trying to repress activists. They're trying to use the vast amount of money that they have, like I was mentioning before, being owned by billionaires. They have so much money at their disposal. They're trying to use that to shut people down through civil litigation, because civil litigation is incredibly expensive. And if you don't have the funds to just keep going through multiple years of a civil lawsuit, to pay for a lawyer, to pay for filings, to get discovery, to go through that process, then you're out of luck, because then you're more motivated and pressured to fold, to just give in and take a plea deal, or to agree to something that frankly could infringe your rights to free speech and to protest. So yeah, we don't want to do that, but it is a not good system that we're in, that there's so much money that can prevent us from having a fair shot at challenging these institutions in court and with the legal system. That's a cool bike. There's some cool bikes out here today. But one of the best things that we have on our side is just the will of the people, and people do care about horses. People do feel horrified when they learn what's happening to the animals here, how they're being raced when they're just 2 years old before their bones are fully developed, how they're sustaining injuries at such a high rate and being drugged to mask the pain routinely, and then dying by the dozens every year, if not many, many more that we don't hear about because they're not required to be reported if they're killed off the track. When people hear about those things, they do feel horrified, and we have a lot of public support on our side. So I hope we're able to tap into that more and keep this campaign going with people who are in the East Bay and want to oppose this facility, like some of the folks who came out here today. But also we need people all over California and beyond just watching, paying attention, sharing, and looking to these folks in this supposedly progressive area to do better, to say, hey, we're looking to you, expecting you to do better, so why are you letting us down? There's a lot of pressure on you, there's a lot of people watching, and to use that as some leverage. John, how are you doing? How was the run? Do you want to share?
Good. It was a lot of fun. It was great to be out here. I think we should do more of these races because it's a kind of a great way to contrast what we're doing with what's going on over here. This is a very joyful and consensual competition, and compared to something that's violent and not consensual over at Golden Gate Fields. So I'm really glad to be part of it.
Were you the third one?
I was.
Nice. Number 3. That's lucky. That's a good number. Nice. Yeah. Alona said something similar, like, I'm enjoying my freedom to be out here in the fresh air and be free, because they're not free, and it really contrasts it, like you said.
Exactly.
Yeah. When it's such a beautiful day too. It's really nice. It's not too hot, but not too cold. It's a beautiful day to be outside here, running, walking, eating burritos with friends. I see some more shirts down there, so there will be some more folks here soon. How are you doing holding up your pole?
Yeah, doing well.
How long have you been holding that?
Since we started.
Wow. Nice. Very, very helpful.
I thought that's what we were doing.
Cassie, there's a camera right there behind you first.
Is it doing a time lapse that's going to get everything, or what?
I don't know. Ask Curtis.
Huh.
I don't know, maybe it's too much work for you. But doesn't it become kind of mechanized? Like, we'll just get the same people to stand in the same places? Yeah, it could be. Or automated. I don't know about that.
Are you saying to do this race multiple times? Make it regular?
I think it'd be cool, yeah. I know that some, like in Richmond, they have this,
What do y'all think about that? John's saying that we should do this, some kind of, whether it's a 5K or something different, but some kind of regular race here at Golden Gate Fields to sustain the campaign more. I think there are probably people from the community who would get more involved as a result of that, but also it is a big time commitment. We've got a lot of other campaigning to do, with trial coming up in September in Utah for Paul and Wayne against Smithfield. That's a big thing to prepare for, to try to capture worldwide attention and defend the right to rescue. And obviously continuing to push our skills in California with the No More Factory Farms campaign, just to make more connections with legislators and all of that. Hi, Gil. How is it going?
Their first actions ever.
Woo! That's awesome. Thank you for coming out to your first protest. Woo! So there's a couple of folks who came out for their first protest. That's awesome to see. And they made it the whole way. They did the whole 5K. 3 miles, and they're about to reach the finish line. Oh, Rocky sent some stars. That's so nice. Thank you, Rocky. If you don't know, the stars are these cool new way to do donations to pages on Facebook that you support. You can buy stars, and then during their live videos you can send them stars, which feels like throwing flowers on a stage or something. I feel like it's a compliment to my performance, but I know it's really just supporting the whole action. So thank you everybody for the stars and for all the comments and all the support and helping us reach more people. We're in a little bit of a lull here because most people have made it past the finish line, made it all the way back, and are eating burritos, using the porta potty or whatever. But we still have, I think, a couple more people we're waiting for. So we're just waiting for a couple more folks, and then when everyone is situated and ready, we're going to do a regular protest. But I'm going to go over to the area where people are eating burritos just to show you and make you hungry, you know, just to celebrate with everyone who's done, really. Let's see. How was it, Carla?
It was great.
You want to say anything?
Just really happy to see so many people out here doing this to end animal gambling in Berkeley and Albany. I think it's long overdue.
Yep.
It's a cruel practice, and I'd come out and run every day if I thought it would make a difference, so it was really great to see everybody.
We'll go talk to John, because John's trying to get us to do this regularly.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love it.
Cool, thanks. All right, well, there's some support for John's idea. We've had over 50 people take part in today's race, either running or walking or some combination or whatever. And we had even more people here today because we also needed a lot of volunteer roles for people to get photo and video and to hold up the banners, to give out the shirts, all of that stuff. So it's been a real team effort and exciting first time in DXC. And we've never done a 5K race, at least in this chapter. I don't know if anyone else has done one. It's possible, but maybe more people will do them now, or maybe we'll do more here since it seems like it's been a hit. Are y'all getting some burritos? Are you getting burritos?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's see. How was it, Chris?
That was great.
Do you want to say anything? You don't have to if you don't want.
Let me see. I hope it was really great. The hard points, I thought of the suffering of the horses right next to me, and I was just like, "Fuck this! I can push myself a lot harder." I loved it. Thank you
Great.
for everybody out there watching this.
Thank you. I'm glad it was a good experience. You want to say anything? Were you second?
I was second, and I was very, very slow today. I'm kind of embarrassed to say. I mean, it was a good time. I don't want to shame anyone else, but I was over 20 minutes. But I just found out from Paul that part of the reason we were slow is because the first 5 runners ran an extra loop. Did you hear this?
No.
Because they didn't have the track set. So, and the loop had a hill. That loop was very hard.
You ran 2 loops in Albany Bowl?
No, there's an extra loop, I think, around Albany in addition to the big loop that Alex was directing people the wrong way early on. So the first
You're on
5
live
people.
stream.
That's okay. But no, anyways, Alex is great. It was a great race. It was a lot of fun.
You got a little extra work.
I got a little extra work, so I really should be thanking Alex for just making us a little fitter because we got
Still
an
were
extra.
second. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Eric is an amazing runner.
Yeah, I had no idea.
He blasted by me in the first mile, and up that first hill, he was just trucking, and I could not keep up. But
Yeah, I should find Eric.
he wasn't even tired after. He's like, no, I'm not tired at all.
You do a lot of running?
He runs 10 miles a day.
Oh, wow.
So he's like me 10 years ago. So,
Well, that makes
anyways,
sense. Well,
it was
good
fun
job.
though. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, everyone's celebrating with their burritos. Where's Eric? Oh, there he is.
Modern dance, yeah, but so I didn't even know that we had a postcard racing. I know, yeah.
Hey, could I interrupt for a second and see if you want to share anything about how your run was?
Oh yeah, it was great. Beautiful day. Yeah, glad this event was organized. Had a good time. Ran this race completely voluntarily, unlike the horses. So.
Did you think that you'd be the winner?
Wayne was talking some big games, so I wasn't sure, but yeah, it became clear halfway through, I think.
He says you run like 10 miles a day.
Yeah, some more, some less, but on average, probably about that much.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you were like, this wasn't too hard because it's only 3 miles.
It's a different type of hard. It's not like distance, but it's faster than I'm normally running, so it has its own challenge, but it's a good race, I think.
Cool. If we do this kind of event again, would you want to come back and do that again?
Yeah, definitely.
Give someone a chance to like try to steal the crown or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Awesome. Well, we talked to our top 3 runners today, but look at how many people participated. I'm so proud of everybody. Very well-deserved burritos. All right, well, just for folks who haven't been with us the whole time, we gathered here at 9 a.m. this morning to have folks check in and get their T-shirts and get everything set up and get their numbers put on them. Their bibs, I didn't actually know that word. Folks were talking about how we needed the T-shirts and the bibs, and I was like, are we going to be eating something messy? But it's apparently just the little numbers that the paper numbers get stuck to you. And that's how we could keep track of who is winning the race. And then starting at 10 a.m., just a couple minutes after, we launched the race. So it's been quite a while now. And obviously, like you can see, most people have finished the whole 5 kilometers and also are here to hang out some more and to continue the protesting. So stay tuned, even though it's not the most exciting to watch people eat their burritos, because we are going to continue the protesting, and there might be more folks who have interesting things to share about their race. Thanks, Shiloh. I'm glad you also didn't know that bibs is what they call the racing numbers, sheets, things. I'm not a runner particularly. I do like to walk. If I wasn't tasked with live streaming, I would have definitely done the 5K, but I would have probably alternated between running and walking. So I'm just really extra proud of everybody who did it, because it is challenging, and it does give you an endorphin rush, and it is fun, but it's also not always the kind of thing that you want to do on a Saturday. You might just want to chill or sleep in and not get up early to come out and run in the wind and sun. So yeah, it's really awesome that people did that and that they ended up having a good time too, while speaking up for the horses who are confined here at Golden Gate Fields. And huge shout out to Matthew. Got to give him a big thank you. Thank you so much, Matthew. How was it biking with the gimbal?
It was fun. It was fun getting to see like everyone at the start and then going back to everyone at the other side. It was like pretty chill, way easier than what everyone else was having to do. So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's cool. It made it a lot easier for me, because I was like, people don't just want to see me walking. It's not the most exciting thing to just see me walking. How was it, Erin? Great. You want to share anything of the live stream?
I was really impressed at the turnout, and everybody had great energy, and I saw a lot of support, and thank you for coming out for the animals.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm excited to see the best video footage and photos from today. I bet we're going to have some fun action shots and action snaps of people mid-run in the wind with their hair whipping around and everything. And hopefully we'll be able to get some of the best photos posted up on DXC's Instagram, maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll make a video. I'm not sure. We have a couple other projects in the works right now, so the social media team is always busy. But if there's good video footage, maybe we could make a reel or some kind of video montage of today's action, which I think would be really fun, because I'm just super excited by how much energy people have to be out here today. There's always a lot of excitement from this community and this chapter of DXC to protest Golden Gate Fields. I mean, people are down for most protests, that's true, but Golden Gate Fields definitely excites people because it's right here in our backyard, and it's a facility that is opposed and, you know, well, I don't want to say hated, it's kind of like a very negative word, but the industry itself that is hated by many community members in the East Bay who don't want to see this facility here, who don't want the environmental damage that is coming from all the manure in this facility, who don't want animal gambling, animal racing to even be legal in Albany or Berkeley anymore. I mean, cockfighting is illegal. So is dog racing in California. So why do we have horse racing? If we have banned these other cruel blood sports with animals, in some cases in all 50 states, if we all say, yeah, cockfighting is wrong, we shouldn't force roosters to fight one another when they don't even want to, and we're tricking them and manipulating them and getting them riled up to attack one another, if we can agree that that's wrong, then we should hopefully be able to apply that to the rest of the industries that exploit animals for entertainment, gambling, and profit by forcing them to do things that they don't want to do. We need to just let them be, just let animals be. That's what freedom is. We just want to let them be free and not force them to do our will or make us money. Just like we all want to be free and we don't want to be forced to do anyone else's will to make them money. Even though our labor system currently forces us to do that, but that's another story. So there is a lot of excitement in the community here to protest Golden Gate Fields. There was a lot of rage in 2020 when 300 people were infected with COVID from an outbreak that started at this facility and one person died. And probably many more people were infected indirectly, but that's, you know, direct infections from this facility's outbreak. And they were actually forced to close down for a time period, but they reopened, and 2021 was another horrible year for horses at Golden Gate Fields, with 26 horses being killed that we know of, that were reported by the California Horse Racing Board in 2021. So yeah, really grave, serious topic, but it's exciting to bring some light to this with creative actions and exercise, and it's been a cool day to be out here raising awareness, and I'm really grateful to everyone who's been watching and hopefully learning some new things, and maybe you have other things that we don't know that we should know, or other tips for things we should do in our protests out here, and that would be great to know. So definitely leave any comments if you have suggestions. Omar says thank you all for being out there. Thank you, Omar, for commenting and being part online, and for your brave actions at Golden Gate Fields as well. So awesome to see so many people rise up. I don't know, but I was just going to ask you how the race was for you.
It was good. I think we saw some people that weren't part of the race, and they said that it was a good cause, obviously, and it was fun, and it was cool to see all the yellow shirts running around. And I think one really cool thing is that there's a lot of new people here. This is their first event, so it's like a good intro to activism. We're going to do a protest soon. Drank Sunny Delight for the first time in like 20 years. It's quite gross, actually. Do not recommend. But, yeah, sorry. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Almira. Yeah, Kitty's the last one. She's bringing up the tail end of the race, so I'm not sure if she's come through, but when we see her, we know that everybody's back. We're still waiting on Kitty, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Matthew's just going to check, make sure Kitty's doing okay, and seeing if there's anybody else left.
Cool. Wayne's running over there. He didn't get enough in.
Wayne ran a little bit extra.
Yeah, he was telling me.
It got a little tricky at a couple points.
Cool.
You in the live stream?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, live stream.
Yeah.
Anybody watching?
Yeah, there's 8 people. It's gone down since the race ended, but I'm just keeping it going for the protest.
Yeah, it seemed pretty good. It seemed like there might have been 100 people total. I think there were like 60-something who checked in, and a dozen or more that got here after check-in, but they ran anyway, and plus our volunteers, so I'm not sure.
Oh.
Seemed like a pretty good turnout there.
I hope we get the people who came after check-in and still get them, get their contact info and stuff. That's cool. We even told people come at 9 or at least 9:30 to check in before 10, but you know, the race didn't start till 10 and sometimes people don't show up till things really start. It's understandable. I'm gonna go back to the finish line and see who's coming in. No sign of Kitty yet? No? No Kitty yet. Well, slow and steady wins the real race, so good for those folks. Good job. See some more shirts down there, maybe
Told her that like if turkeys.
How's it going over here?
Like fantastic.
You want to say anything to the live stream about your role today? And
I am excited that this happened. I feel like this is the first time we've done a DXC sponsored race. It's an actual 5K. How fun! Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Glad to be active.
Yeah, it is the first time that I know of. I don't think we've even done an unofficial race. But
Good way to keep people active.
yeah, we had new people come too, so that's awesome.
Chickens that people eat, they kill them out 6, 7
I'm gonna go up to this group of folks and see how they're all doing while they cross the last stretch here. I see Kitty. Woo! Great work. Slow and steady wins the race. You're the real winners right here, y'all. How's it going?
We're the last one.
Y'all had a lot of time to talk and bond, right? You're like best friends now. Whoa. Whoa. Interesting. Beautiful. All right, folks, we're going to watch the last group cross the finish line and get their burritos. And soon we will be doing a protest, a more typical protest, because this whole thing has been a protest, but it's also been a race. And the next protest will not involve running, I don't think.
I think we should, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, 5.
Okay, see the side? Yeah, yes. If we go. Okay, okay. You guys just need to work around my picture. Work around her. Woo!
In the funnel.
And that concludes. Woo! And that concludes our 5K race to end animal gambling in Berkeley and Albany. Our start has officially become our finish here. This starting line is now just a finish line because everyone has finished. Our last group made it through. They're going to get some delicious vegan burritos, and we're going to continue on with the next part of our protest. It's a beautiful day out here, and we are enjoying our fresh air, our freedom, our ability to move at the pace that we choose, unlike the hundreds and hundreds of individuals who are confined in these stables over here, who don't get the freedom to go out in the fresh air when they want to, who don't get the freedom to live in a clean, natural, wild environment, who don't get the freedom even to be safe because they're forced to run to the point of injury and death. In 2021, 26 horses were killed at Golden Gate Fields, and that doesn't even include the number of horses who were killed off the track because those horses aren't required to be reported, which if I was Golden Gate Fields means I would try to send as many of the horses who are destined to be killed off the track to be killed before they are killed at the track or die at the track so that those numbers wouldn't have to be held against me publicly. And so I'm sure that that's what Golden Gate Fields does, and that many more horses than we even know are dying. And this operation is happening in secrecy. You know, we can barely see past these fences. There's been security all along the path, and they don't want us to know what's happening to the horses in here. But we know that the entire horse racing industry is cruel and exploitative. So even without seeing the specifics that we can't see at the moment here today, we know that these are just children who are being forced to run before their bones are fully developed, who are being fed an unnaturally high starch diet that's for competition and for running, not for their long-term health, because they're not going to live into the long term most likely. And we know many other facts about how they are abused in this industry and forced to run. It's heartbreaking stuff, but the good thing, the really inspiring thing, is that the public is on our side. When we talk about these things with members of the community, beyond animal rights, beyond activism at all, people do not support what's happening to these beautiful creatures here at Golden Gate Fields. And that gives me a lot of hope that with the public will on our side and representatives in Albany and Berkeley City Council on our side, that we can do something to shut down Golden Gate Fields. But it doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because this is a company that's owned by a billionaire family. It does have a lot of power and continues to bring in a lot of profit here through forcing humans to gamble. Well, not forcing them in the same way as the horses that race, but, you know, manipulating them and getting them addicted to gambling and sort of bringing them in through deals that then get them stuck. And so there's a lot of obstacles that we're up against to shut down this facility, but we're going to do our best. And one of the things that we can do right now is creative protests like this one, sharing live streams, which you all can do to help spread the word, talking to the media to get more people mobilized in this area and get more people educated, just to be passively supportive, even if they're not taking action to support us, and build community with each other, which is, you know, what's happening right here with all these folks who are enjoying burritos together. And Paul's going to share some information now.
Thank you so much for coming out today. It was a really awesome experience. I just want to start off real quick apologizing. A couple people ran extra. So a few of y'all ran more than 5K, so you really must support the cause. But that's our fault. We're really sorry about that. We had a little bit of confusion, so big time sorry about that, everybody. Thanks so much for being a good sport and having a good time. Thanks to P&A Catering, Vegan Catering, for making these awesome burritos. Thanks to 99 Cent Store for having really cheap Sunny Delight. Right off the bat, just on a serious note, it really does mean a lot for folks to be here. I'm just really touched to see so many people come out for this cause. Please wear your shirts. Please talk to people about animal gambling a little bit. Of course, it's something where in the Bay Area, we're not seeing like dog fighting be sanctioned or dog racing even, but they still do race horses and bet on them, and they die at such a high rate. Just 8 days ago, somebody died right here in the Berkeley part in the CAFO. This is a concentrated animal feeding operation. It's technically a CAFO, and their name was Honeydew, and all the description said was died in their stall unexpectedly. So somebody who lives in a box died in a box, and we can just take a quick moment of silence to think about them. Thanks again, and yeah, they're going to run races today, so I hope nobody dies today, but you never know. Last year, 26 horses died at this track, the #1 in California by far, in the top 5 in the nation. That's an average of every 2 weeks, you know, so Berkeley and Albany let this happen. It's hard for them to do a lot legislatively because it is in the California Constitution to be able to have horse races, but there's other ways we'd like them to take some action. But really, we like seeing the people show up and express their voices, so thank you. I want to give a shout out to our friend Hadar. She was going to run today, but did she twist her ankle? She broke her toe, and that's the difference between this sport. Y'all consented to be here, and those of you who got injured aren't getting euthanized immediately like everyone who races over there when they get injured. So again, thank you so much. Another quick announcement is that we had over 60 people check in, which is amazing. I think there was a dozen or 15 or so folks who didn't make it to check in, but you ran anyway, so thank you so much for doing that. If you're one of those people, can you look for Almira Tanner, because Almira's taking attendance, and she's using the check-in a lot. But yeah, so if you made it a little bit late, please make sure Almira sees you and gets your name so we can mark you into attendance. The last thing is just that by about noon, we're going to go over. Anybody who wants to go is welcome to. Anyone who likes to take off or stay, you can do that too. But we're going to wrap this up here. We're going to go over to the front of the actual Golden Gate Fields on the sidewalk there, public sidewalk, and hold our placards that we have that say "Race to End Animal Gambling" in English and Spanish. And we're going to just have some chanting, and we're going to give people an opportunity to get on the mic and say a few words if they want, and just talk about why you're here today. So for now, just enjoy yourselves. Oh yeah, Almira's going to take an announcement. But yeah, we'll be heading over there at about 10 till noon.
Is this anybody's first time coming to a Direct Action Everywhere event? Woo, that's awesome. Yes, thank you so much. I just want to say a little bit about the group that put this on. We're Direct Action Everywhere. We're a grassroots network of animal rights activists. We fight for all animals, and that includes humans too, and this place exploits everybody. It's a waste of land, all of these awful things about Golden Gate Fields. And so if you are interested in getting more involved, especially if you haven't checked in, do come talk to me, like Paul said. And also, I know we shouted out everybody who came to their first event. Is this anybody's first time doing a 5K walk or run? Yeah! We merged some communities today, which is awesome. There's some people who are here because they really love running. There's some people here who really love animals. Some people who love both, so it's really exciting. And it's the first time we've ever done this, and it worked, minus those people who ran extra, so thanks.
And big thanks to everybody who helped out, who volunteered as well. Susie's been over here holding it down. Jake's doing audio. Eric and Ellie and Tiru have been our safety people holding the finish line. And Curtis did a lot to get the technical aspects of the race under control, so thank you, Curtis. And Rocky is the reason a lot of y'all might be here. Rocky couldn't be here today because Golden Gate Fields is suing Rocky, and his lawyer said he probably shouldn't show up to this event. Yeah, Rocky promoted it and helped a lot of people find out about it. And if you like this event, if it is your first event or just you come to events in general, you can put on your calendar, June 18th is our next big action. And for a change, it's on a Saturday, and it's going to be in the city along with our meetup. We have our Saturday morning meetups in Crescent Lawn and Berkeley most Saturdays at 11 a.m., but we're going to switch it up and do it in Golden Gate Park. We'll have an event page up with the exact location, but you can save that date, 11 Golden Gate Park for the meetup. There'll be vegan brunch for suggested donation, and then we're going to transition right into a creative, musical, artistic protest, sort of, not so much a protest, but like a display. So if that's something you're interested in, yeah, we'll have the event page up. You can RSVP. But yeah, June 18th, 11 a.m. meetup, and then about 1 p.m. for the protest. Would love to see y'all at Golden Gate Park on that day. And that'll be for the right to rescue. And I'm somebody who's actually going to be going to trial most likely in September for rescuing piglets, along with Wayne, who's here as well. And so we're trying to sort of build up some attention for that issue, so we can hopefully mobilize people in Utah and around the world to take action in some way. So we really appreciate it if you can make it. So thanks again so much. My name's Paul, and really appreciate y'all being here. I'll catch you later.
Hey, Neela, do you know what time it is?
11:42.
Oh, 11:42. Cool, thanks. Okay, I was just wondering because
I'm glad that we don't have to pull out our guns here, right? Otherwise, it would have been so slow.
well, we have a few minutes before we're going to head over to the front of Golden Gate Fields to continue the protest. People are just going to pack up here all the stuff from check-in, get it back into the cars that brought it, tear down time, but then we are going to continue our protest and give everyone an opportunity to speak who wants to. So I'm excited to hear what people want to share. Where'd you go, John?
Oh, I got you a matcha latte. If you want
Are you
one.
serious?
I am very serious. Sorry. Yeah.
That's
got
so sweet.
matcha on the top. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's for you. Yeah.
John is such a nice person. It's really good. My concern is how I'm going to hold it, though. Are you all leaving?
No, we're
Okay.
putting Monica's bike in our car.
Okay.
I think he sent us around an extra booth. It was like a
Hey, Monica. How are you?
All right, how are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here to protest. How are you both doing? Do you want to say anything? How was the run for you?
It was good. Yeah.
Did you run the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
You lost sight of each other? Nice.
Oh yeah, I was ahead.
Yeah, she ran away. I just
Nice.
saw her like disappear in the dust bowl.
Aww. Yeah, it is a dusty run, but it was very pretty. Thanks for doing the run.
Us and the horses.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for being here.
All right, see you later,
Awesome.
Curtis. Hey, Curtis, that was awesome.
So a lot of people who want to do it again. That's really awesome to hear. Maybe we will be doing this again. We'll have to keep folks posted and see how we can build off this if we do it again and get even more people here and even more attention. Sanjeev, do you want to say anything about how the run was for you?
Oh, well, it was harder than I expected, but I felt good. Yeah, there were people, I was running with, and it felt really good. And at the same time, I was like, at some point I wanted to give up, and I was thinking, it's like I saw the Golden Gate Field, the sign, and I was thinking, it's like I'm running and I want to give up. And what about these horses? It's like they can't stop, they can't give up. That was something that kept me going. Yeah.
It's like if you want to stop, you can. But
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. Nobody's really shared quite that, but that's beautiful and powerful. It's like we know that's what's happening, that these horses are forced to run and can't stop, but I guess it's very different when you feel it yourself because you're running and you get tired and sore and you experience that feeling that they feel. Hi. Do any of you want to share anything about your run/walk?
Yeah, it was really fun. We were the caboose, so we were the slowest. We were last place, proudly. And yeah, we got so many runners came around. We were cheering for them. We got to see all kinds of wildlife, which was really fun. It was a really fun kind of action. Normally our actions aren't so beautiful, and we're not walking and enjoying things. And I'm excited that now, after our little 5K, we're gonna go protest outside and remind them that we're still mad at them for exploiting animals. So
It's kind of like an action community event merged together because a lot of time to talk to people. Do either of you want to share anything about how it was for you? No pressure if you don't want to. Do you want to?
Nice. My knees are a little sore, but I made it. Thank you for doing this. It's in supporting animals. It's really wonderful.
I hope your knees get better soon and it doesn't last. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Here's some printouts with information for people about the horse deaths at this facility. Do you want to say anything about how it was volunteering?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being here doing a race for this great cause that is fighting for the safety of the horses is amazing. I mean, it's the best way to start the day. Saturday morning, go fight for the right thing, and let's do it.
And you get a donut.
And I get a donut. Yes.
Everything you need. Nice. Sorry, Susie. I'm putting everybody on the spot. Do either of you want to be put on the spot and share about how it was for you?
Sure. Well, my experience is a little different. I came like 20 minutes late, so forgive me in my... No, because I've been like sick for the past 3 days. And I just been in bed like debating, should I go to this thing at all? And I woke up, it was like 9:30 before the race started. I'm like, oh, should I go? Should I go? And I'm like, you know what? Just do it. Go ahead and do it. And when I got here, and I just started running, and here we are. So I'm really glad I came, and this is an awesome event. So, and it's yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, way better. I think we'll see how I feel in like 2 hours, but right now, I feel good. I think this is good. You know, so you just got to push through things and push through the sickness sometimes. So it's a good time. I probably should. Yeah.
I can. Well, I love the whole purpose of coming here today to end animal gambling. Still can't believe that I am a Berkeley resident, but that there is Golden Gate Fields here. Pretty unbelievable. But also I love running. I'm an avid runner. And so this is the combination of two things that I love very much and hold very dear to my heart. So very happy to be here, and it's great to see so many other people running and walking in honor of ending animal gambling.
Thank you. That's great. I'm glad that you got to combine two things that you love. Seems like really positive feedback from people, although I'm putting them on the spot, so maybe they're just being nice, but seems like everyone's really glad that they came and glad that they ran or walked and enjoyed the nature around us and everyone's company. Such an awesome community that we're building here in DXC. If you're a part of DXC, including online, then you probably already know how important community is to us, but if you're new, if you saw a friend shared this and you clicked on it, we are a grassroots network of animal rights activists, and one of the most important things that we do to change the world for animals is to get to know each other and the people fighting in this movement with us so that we can build trust, so we can take action together, and our team dynamics work well and people care about each other, and we help make it sustainable for people to be in this movement long term, and we bring in new people to grow the movement by welcoming people. And obviously there's a lot going on in the world right now that's really scary and demotivating. It can make people feel like, what's the point to taking action? And that's one of the reasons that, for me, community is so important, because when I feel like it's just really heartbreaking what's happening to the horses here, and it's easier not to think about it, or, it's really scary that our democracy is maybe moving backwards with a lot of issues. And how does it matter if we make legislative change if our system can just change it back, revert it back just a little while later? It can be really easy to be negative. There's lots of reasons to be negative, but there's so many reasons to be positive too. And it's so much easier for me to recognize all those things when I'm here with a community of people, and our positivity and our love and our care and our support for each other is bouncing off one another, and we're all sharing it and feeding into good energy and just really checking in and taking care of each other too. So super important thing that we do in DXC is that we build community, and we make time to talk to people, to connect to people, to run together and do stuff like that, which, this was a protest, but it was also kind of like a community event, because people who are running together or walking together had time to bond in that experience and talk to each other too. More the walkers than the runners, I guess. But now with the it's a really cool experience to be able to take action with people that you know. And that won't always be the case, because as our movement grows and as we go to actions with more and more people there, we're not going to know everybody. And that's okay. We don't have to know every single person we're taking action with, but it's important that everybody who's there taking action knows somebody. That's a really good goal, that everyone who's involved at a protest or at a big event knows somebody there so that they don't feel alone, so that they feel supported. And we try to look at social justice through a historical lens and look at what's worked in past social justice movements and look into the science and social science behind what's working in movements. And one of the things that the data shows that's really important for what gets people involved and keeps people involved is having close ties to other people in the movement. So what does that mean? Friendship, support, close ties, right? It's like the easy part to understand is we know what a close tie is, and we know when we go somewhere where we don't feel we have close ties to anyone, that we feel more alone. And when we go to a community where we know that there's people we really feel connected to, even one person that we really feel we have close ties to, it makes all the difference, and we feel a sense of belonging. And so ideally that's what we can create for everybody in this movement. And I can't do that for everybody. I can't have close ties to everyone. And Kitty can't have close ties to everyone, as friendly and bubbly and kind as she is. So it really takes all of us doing the work to talk to different people and build connections and make authentic relationships, so that all of us are doing the work of making sure everyone has a close tie and everyone has friends and support. And, we're not going to do the perfect job at that, but it's something to aspire to for sure. So I'm going to ask again, even though it's not the most exciting thing right now, please share the live stream if you haven't yet, because we really want to get this out there as far and wide as possible to help people learn about the issues at Golden Gate Fields and just in the horse racing industry in general, and to learn more about DXE, and if they're local, to come get involved, or if you're not local but maybe there's a DXE chapter near you, then hopefully it inspires people to get involved in that wherever they are. And you can find DXE chapters on a chapter map at the URL dxe.io/chapters. I'm pretty sure that takes you to the page on the Direct Action Everywhere website that lists our different chapters. So you could check that out, see them on a map, follow different chapters on social media. Even if you're not getting involved in a chapter, just seeing which ones are out there and then following them on Instagram and other social media is a really great way to support them and see what they're up to and learn more. And please follow the main Direct Action Everywhere accounts on social media too, if you aren't already. So Direct Action Everywhere-DXE on Facebook, which is the page we're streaming on today, and Direct Action Everywhere on Instagram. And on Twitter, we are at DX Everywhere. So it's like DXE and then the rest of the word everywhere. And now we're heading over to the other side of Golden Gate Fields for our demonstration. Thanks, Shiloh, for commenting all those links. Super helpful. These bright shirts are great because they help people see us.
And they're really good quality too, really nice quality.
Good for working out or anything, you might sweat. This intersection is really dangerous, so it's great with all the freeways right there that we have such colorful shirts to help. There's a lot of traffic at this intersection right by the freeway, and it makes it a little bit dangerous to do our protest here, but it also means a lot of people will see us when we unravel that big banner that is up there ahead. I think you could see it briefly. Golden Gate Fields sign right here with their motto, where the bay comes to play, but not the horses. They are not playing. They are suffering.
Safety marshalling, so I have to.
You want a sign?
Two more.
It's hard to live stream right here because I don't want to go in the street. They're so it's an intense intersection. They're already distracted.
Yeah.
I want to see this banner unraveling.
Yeah, it's their property, so yeah, we just want to be right, basically where y'all are at. Yeah. Hey, we have to stay out of the grass so we don't Sure.
Sidewalk and also off the grass.
It's so hard to get a good shot.
Property lines. Well, I will go tell Diana that. But yeah, you so if you see someone, let them know.
I think if I across the street here that I can go when they're stopped and just stand in that little patch right there.
Animals want to be free.
I want to get a better shot of this.
Animals suffer.
Just like I want to make it over to that patch.
Animals left their families.
Okay, you want
Just like us. Animals deserve freedom. Animals feel pain. Just like us. Animals love their babies. Animals feel love. Animals feel misery.
Thanks, Sally.
Animals feel joy. Animals feel fear. Animals fear.
There we go. I think that is a much better view than not being able to step into the street there because I couldn't really show you the visual from farther away. I think this is a lot better. Although there are going to be a lot of cars passing in front of us, but that's fine.
Their family, their lives, their bodies, their babies, their lives, their families, their bodies, their lives. When do we want? When do we want it? Are we going to fight for it? Are we going to get it? What do the animals need? When do they need it? Are we going to fight for them? What do we want? When do we want it?
All right, everyone. So we are in the final throes of our protest today. We had a 5K race against animal gambling here at Golden Gate Fields, and that concluded. Folks had a little break, had some refreshments, some vegan burritos, and now we are in front of the entrance of Golden Gate Fields. Well, one of the entrances here, where there's a lot of car traffic and a lot of people seeing our big banner that says shut down Golden Gate Fields. We also have placards that were made for today's protest that say race to end animal gambling specifically, which match what the shirts say that folks who participated in the race got today. They say race to end animal gambling. And well, that's one pro for doing this event again, is we already have the shirts and the placards. So I've heard a lot of support from people who participated today for doing it again or even making it regular. So we'll see. That's a big time commitment, of course, but it takes a lot of time to make big changes like shutting down Golden Gate Fields. Our divestment campaign in Berkeley took regular weekly protests for like 10 weeks or something. I can't remember how many weeks, but every Tuesday during the city council meeting, or even if it was a Tuesday when there was no city council meeting, we were out there protesting at the mayor's house or at city council or like city hall. So yeah, I mean, we may be doing more regular protests as part of an ongoing campaign anytime in the future. And as watching saying let's do it again, I think it is exciting to do a sustained campaign, but it can be exhausting too, especially if you don't hear any response. You know, when Mayor Aragin was not responding to us, it was really discouraging, and sometimes it made it hard to be motivated to be out there, to take action again and again and again if you're not getting a response. And similarly with Golden Gate Fields, we know there's a lot of public support for our cause, for the horses' cause, and that's great. It's awesome that new people came out to their first protest today. But it's discouraging that we're up against such a big giant owned by a billionaire dynasty group, the Stronach Group, that can try to crush activists through civil litigation like they are doing. Golden Gate Fields has sued, is in an active lawsuit against Direct Action Everywhere and 4 individuals, Omar, Rocky, Jamie, and Rachel. They've been in that lawsuit for years now, so yeah, they have a lot of power to keep things going and to try to just run your you know, both your funds dry and also just your momentum and your energy. So it can be hard to keep going. But it's really exciting to me that we were able to pull off this action, which is something we've never done before. Our first time doing an organized official race, a 5K race like this, to get so many people out to do it. I think 60 people participating in the race, plus all the volunteer roles that were needed as well. And it does make me excited to keep doing more protests against Golden Gate Fields. We've been doing protests here for years. We've had funeral memorial actions here and other visuals. The first time that we did a race, though, and I hope we can think of other creative ideas to keep doing in the future to bring more attention to this issue and to get more pressure on Golden Gate Fields, but specifically on the cities of Albany and Berkeley to do something against Golden Gate Fields, to take action against this company.
Safety marshalling on this side, or are you good for now?
Oh no, I think I'm fine. I don't think anyone's going to come into this patch. I just wanted to make sure you got it across. That was helpful.
Yeah, if you can like wave if you need to one about to go back over and cross the other way.
Okay, thanks, Sally.
Horses deserve to be happy. Horses love their families. Horses feel love. Horses feel pain.
Hey everybody, just a few hours ago, we had an amazing 5K race just right behind here, all along the May. And what we're doing is celebrating athletic achievement, celebrating competition in a spirit of joy and celebration and wanting to keep something together. And we're creating a contrast through the type of competition that happens in Golden Gate Fields, where horses are forced to race to the death. And this is not.
Can you all hear John speak out? If not, I can cross the street. Let me know if you can hear him.
So what we want to do is let's bring people into the spirit of competition that we're trying to create. And you know, a lot of people, we talk about all the deaths of horses that happen at Golden Gate Fields every year during competition. But what we have to realize is that every single horse here died in some violent manner, whether it's on the field or in Mexico, and we get sent to a slaughterhouse. So this needs to stop. And this can't
Okay, thanks, Larissa. I'll cross the street and get back. Thanks, Rocky.
protesting, standing with a sign, or doing a race, whatever we need, because this violence needs to end. And this is such an incredibly beautiful property, and there's so much we could do. We could house folks who are houseless. We could create a carbon sink. We could create an agroforest, a community garden with this space. And instead, this is colonized land that's being used for violent and capitalist purposes. And it needs to stop. So please join us in protesting Golden Gate Fields, and together we can shut down Golden Gate Field. And I would, if anybody else just
I didn't
wants to
wave.
say
I thought I
something,
could do it,
however,
but then
we
it was
might
very
to
trafficky.
invite someone else to give a speak out. Is anyone interested?
John was saying that today we celebrated racing and exercise and competition in a joyful way, which is what we want to invite people to do, not to force animals to race.
All right, I can go next now. Whoever wants to come after me, you can start thinking about what you want to say. But I just looked at their schedule, and the horses are scheduled to start racing in about an hour at 1:15. So we're seeing a lot of people probably showing up to come and watch and to gamble. And I'm hoping that we can raise awareness to the people who are maybe coming to watch these races and gamble on these races, because, you know, I've never been to a horse race, but I've also participated in other forms of animal exploitation in my life, and I've changed my mind and I've changed my ways, and most importantly, I've joined the animal rights movement. And so I'm hoping that someone is listening to this who might change their mind and join the animal rights movement too, because it doesn't matter what we've done in our past necessarily, or what our background is or our culture is. We can and will move towards progress, and I don't think that it is right for